This game got me scared and this game got me frustrated, but most importantly, this game made me feel fucking awesome. SWAT 4 is a tactical shooter where you play as a commander of a SWAT team made up of 5 officers. The game released back in 2005 and had very positive reviews. So, how does it hold up today? Surprisingly, when I booted this game, I immediately fell in love with it yet again. At least after having to tweak some of the issues that you can have with older games, like the resolution. But some easy tweaking in the INI files did the job. This game is about teamwork and something that is completely different from many games. Your goal is to arrest the enemies instead of killing them. If you decide to kill an enemy without first ordering them to surrender, which can very easily be done by pressing the middle mouse button or F, or maybe even if your trigger finger is a bit itchy, you'll be penalized at the end of each mission and you might fail the mission and have to do it all over again. Each mission starts out with a briefing that I always skipped when I was younger. And in the briefing you actually get some really useful information about the type of situation you're up against with.
Here's what we've got. We're needed for rapid deployment at 29th and Arlington. The Victory Imports Auto Garage. Looks like a botched vehicle theft that's turned into a barricaded situation. 32 Adam, responding to a 911 call.
For instance, in some missions you'll have to confront a group of bad guys that all have gas masks, which will lead to you not bringing any CS gas, but maybe more stingers or flashbangs. Another situation can be that you're up against armored enemies or mentally unstable civilians that might need a little pepper in their eyes before they surrender. While or after listening or reading to the briefing, you can choose a place to enter the building from and look at some of the intel of the suspects or civilians. After all that, you will be able to equip your squad team to your liking. And this can be done in almost every single way. Not only can you pick lethal and non-lethal weapons, you can also decide to bring armor penetrating bullets or less lethal bullets. You will be able to bring gadgets like the Opti-1 and C2 charges, and you can pick from multiple grenades like CS gas, stingers and flashbangs. All this can be a bit overwhelming at first, but it won't take you very long to figure out what to bring on your next mission. When picking the right weapons for a scenario, you might just get one step ahead of what you're up against with. And when you're not equipping yourself the right way, you might as well shoot yourself in the foot. Now when you're all set up and ready to go to clear a building, it's time to see what the gameplay is like. And I'm telling you, you're up for a pleasant surprise. Most of the gameplay you will encounter is either getting a squad member or you yourself sticking an Opti-1 under a door or around a corner, checking for enemies and planning your way of entry. You can either lead your squad in or you can order them to clear the room for you, which is something that can be done in many different ways and is most definitely the way this game is meant to be played. When aiming at a door, corner, suspect or any interactive object, you can click and hold your right mouse button, which will open an interactive menu. This menu will allow you to control your squad, which can also be divided into 2 teams, red and blue, making you able to enter one room from multiple angles. This menu works out great and is really easy to understand. You can order your squad to breach and clear with all the equipment you brought. Breach, sting and clear will make your squad blow the door out, where then another squad member tosses a stinger in the room, which will then lead to your squad entering a room and clearing it. Quite straightforward, which was definitely something that helped this game out in the long run. Everybody that at least understands how a mouse and keyboard works can understand how this game works. Even I, at the age of 14, was able to enter the quick fuel convenience store and leave with at least 3 of my squad members left alive. And even if you're not the best at tactical games, there is a map for you too. The Fairfax Residence map is by far the easiest yet freaky map that this game has to offer. In this map you need to rescue a kidnapped student from a really messed up serial killer that also has a really annoying old lady living in the same house.
Do it now! Trouble here.
You got no right to come in here.
Red team, get the taser out. Taser out.
Oh, my heart!
Police, on your knees!
This map legit gave me nightmares back in the days. Still pretty fun though. The AI in this game is good, but can have its funky moments. Sometimes you're actually surprised and amazed by how efficient your squad clears a room. Yet other times you're ready to pull your hair out of your head when your squad enters a room and all of them just get wasted by one single gunman with nothing more than a pistol at the end of a 15-minute long mission.
Go! Time to move! Moving, go! Hands up now! Hands up and get down!
Maybe this will be over soon.
Red team,
Don't
tie him down.
shoot me.
Roger that, sir. You'll be safe soon.
He's got a gun!
Which leads me to something you really would like to know when you first start out your first mission. There is no saving mid-mission. If you die, which is something that is very easily done, you're back at square one. All the planning and room clearing that you have done for the last 10 minutes can all be repeated after a stupid death. If you want to avoid your squad members' AI, there is multiplayer that is actually really good and enjoyable, but like many older games, it ran on GameSpy, which has been shut down for quite some time now. There is a mod that lets you play multiplayer and you can set up your own server, but the player base, well, at least in the multiplayer, is pretty much non-existent. But then again, you'd probably be better off playing this game with a couple of friends anyway. The game has great replayability due to multiple reasons. The positions of enemies are randomized each time you start or restart a mission, and at the end of each mission you're given a score based on your behavior. Killing a civilian will, for instance, failure the mission instantly, but when killing a suspect in a non-lawful manner, you'll be penalized for it. If you really want to see 100 out of 100 appear on your screen after a mission, you are up for a challenge. This will require you not to kill a single enemy, secure all evidence, and make sure you don't take any damage. Which on easier maps is definitely possible, but when you're up against 30 armored enemies that are not willing to surrender, you really are up for a challenge. In 2006, an expansion for this game was released, SWAT 4: The Stechkov Syndicate, which added more maps, weapons, equipment, and most importantly, some little features that were missing from the base game. If you did not restrain a suspect that has surrendered, he might actually pick up his gun again. You were now able to time your squad commands by holding control, which definitely made some advanced and awesome entries possible.
Go, blue team. On my signal. Bang it. Go when ready. Gold. Let's go! Suspect. Hands in the air! Got a suspect.
It also came with the addition of glow sticks, so you could easily mark where you've been, and you were now able to punch non-cooperative civilians or criminals to subdue them. Unfortunately, iron sights were not added in this expansion, which I definitely miss in both the main game and this expansion. This expansion is actually really great. The AI has been tweaked some more and the enemies were not as predictable as before. It also came with some multiplayer modes and features that I sadly never have been able to try out. Nowadays, this game is still holding strong and you'd be surprised how well it plays in its current state. However, if you're missing out on some features like iron sights and maybe even the glow sticks in the base game, there is a modding community that fixes most of those things and even added some more things like maps and other game features. There has never been any word of a SWAT 5 game, which is very unfortunate and kind of disappointing, but on the horizon there is hope for another SWAT-like game. It is called Ready or Not. It is being developed by Void Interactive and it looks kind of promising. There is supposedly going to be a beta and it might actually be able for pre-order in July, but not a lot of this game has been shown. I hope this game could be the SWAT 5 game I've been hoping for, but only time will tell. All in all, SWAT 4 is one of my favorite games ever made, and since you're able to buy the gold edition that comes with all the expansions on GOG, I can recommend everybody to at least try this game out. This game definitely deserves a spotlight, and I hope to see all of y'all in tomorrow's Spotlight livestream.
Boss, you're in my way.